All right. First off, thank you all for your patience. I know it's an exciting day here at Marshall University as we unveil an announcement that has been a long time coming. Before I get started on that, I want to definitely thank Kemp Holmes, who's superintendent over this project, Derek Foster, John Farley, Steve Ellis from JDS. Uh, Thank them so much for working with us today to make this possible at the construction site, which obviously, as you can see, there's been a lot of work done here. Me being from this area, this day is a dream come true, really, because you look and Marshall baseball has looked for an on-campus facility for so long, and to have it coming to fruition, be able to see it's so surreal. And I won't keep you all long. Obviously, there's some people that we definitely want you to talk to. We'll lead off with Marshall baseball coach Greg Beals, who is going to give us some information on some naming rights today. Those naming rights involve Jack Cook Field. That's where we're standing now, which is an amazing feat, and the Alex Lawrence Clubhouse after a couple of gifts. So without anything further, Coach Beals.
Thanks, Grant. Well, I want to echo a few things that Grant mentioned, and a lot of work's been done here. Kemp, the superintendent, and I spend a couple days a week out here walking around and learning about what's all getting done. But there's been so much that's happened in the background before even that started. And what an exciting time in Marshall baseball, and I'm so blessed to be in charge of the program as we get this thing really happening and going. And it's so fitting that we're here today and we're at the site so we can see that the home of Marshall baseball is truly happening. I couldn't think of a better naming right than for this playing surface to be called Jack Cook Field. And our Board of Governors approved that naming today. There's a lot of people that have spent a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears wearing Marshall uniforms that care a lot for Jack Cook. And I've gotten to learn a lot about his legacy that he's left from those guys, from just me doing my research and looking through record books and seeing that 73, 78, those are championship ball clubs. That's what we're striving to do here at Marshall Baseball in the near future. So it is an honor to be coaching a team that's going to play on a field named Jack Cook Field. And it's an honor and a privilege for us in the future of Marshall baseball, and it's absolutely deserving. And I'm so happy for Coach Cook and his family for this recognition. I need to recognize John Ruley, one of our former captains that played under Coach Cook, that John has stepped up and made a gift to make sure that his coach, his name is on this field, and he has stepped up himself personally and challenges other teammates to do the same. But it's a really cool thing that John Ruley has done on behalf of his coach. And as a coach, that's what we wish for more than anything, is to make an impact and to leave an impact and leave an impression on a group of young men. And Coach Cook certainly did that. The other thing that's really exciting to talk about is the Alex Lawrence Clubhouse and his wife Kim and her generosity and the naming rights for that. That is going to be the home. This is the playing surface, Jack Cook Field. The Alex Lawrence Clubhouse is going to be the home of Marshall baseball in the very near future. Something that we dearly miss and we need to develop a culture, to drive a program. There's three pieces that make success. You got to have talent, you got to have a culture, and you got to have the ability to execute. And this facility, all things, including the clubhouse, are going to be very key in the future recruitment of student athletes here at Marshall University. That's the talent we're talking about. It's going to be a driver for the culture that we have and that we're going to develop. And that culture is going to drive our training. which is going to lead to execution on this baseball field. So those 3 prongs are a necessity for success, and the Lawrence Clubhouse out there in left field is going to be a huge piece for that. And it will be the home. I've heard many people say we haven't truly had home baseball games here at Marshall, and you guys can all see here behind me that's happening. It's going to happen real soon. Can I take some questions, please?
Is this the most rewarding undertaking you've ever attempted? Is this most rewarding?
Most rewarding, that's hard to say. You know, there's so many athletes and so many teams that I've coached. This is a really big deal, though, because in my short time, I've gained an understanding of what this means to our community, what this means to our athletic department, what it means to our alumni. This is a big deal, and so it's something that I was all in on from the get-go. It was a huge part of my excitement about Marshall baseball. So it's got to be up there. In all due respect to all the other teams and players I've coached, I don't know if I want to say the biggest, but it's certainly up there. So thank you.
Coach, how does this affect your recruiting? You used to be able to maybe show them an artist rendering. Now you can show them a real photo. And how does that impact when you go out on the road and say, come play for Marshall?
Well, it's huge. The recruitment here in the past, I just want to say it's been a great challenge. And I have just a little bit of feel of that in my time of the challenge that recruiting without a home, field, locker room, clubhouse, the things that draw student athletes to a program, we simply have been missing. So this is a game changer. It's a game changer in the recruiting process. I know Christian's going to come up here at some point and he's going to use the word transformational. I don't want to change. I don't want to steal his words, but from a program standpoint, it's a total transformation of what it's going to allow us to do, recruiting, program development in our culture, and the development of our student athletes from a playing standpoint as well. It's just a total changer for us.
We see the dirt and everything else going on, but when it's finally said and done, is it going to be built to your style, or are you guys going to recruit towards your style? What's the finished product going to look like that caters to Marshall baseball?
It's just going to be good baseball. It's not going to be a field that really caters to one way or the other. I think the prevailing winds are going to move the ball out to right field, so we're going to have a couple of left-handed bats in the lineup. I can promise you that. But the playing surface is going to play very true. I'm going to try to get it to play on the fast side because I like to recruit to good defense. And the faster the ball moves, the better the defensive players shine in that situation. And we're going to have a team that wants to play fast as well. So we're going to try to speed up the surface a little bit. And I'm just guessing that the ball is going to run out there to right field with the prevailing winds. So we're going to have some left-handed bats in the game as well.
Building off that, is there anything that's a direct result of your input as this project began?
The general footprint was in stone when I got here. There's been little tweaks and stuff. When that building, when the Alex Lawrence Clubhouse gets built, the interior of that, I've had direct connection in all the steps along with designing the locker room. There's going to be a locker room. There's going to be a theater-style meeting room. There's going to be a training room for athletic trainer will be housed out there. Coaches' offices are going to be there. There's going to be indoor batting cages for training as well, all out in that clubhouse. So when I say big deal and home, that's it. Our guys are going to spend a ton of time out there in that building. So I had a pretty good piece on that. All the structural stuff was pretty much done. Probably the one thing I had a piece on is we had to cut a hole in the wall to put field equipment in. And I guess it took a baseball coach to realize that we need a storage area for the field equipment adjacent to the field here. So I had a little input on that change here.
When you're trying to grow a program and you have a new team, what is important when you have a state-of-the-art to really help have those facilities to take you to the next level that this one might have?
New, excitement, energy, community. I'm certainly going to tie community, and this place is going to be packed on March 1st. I'm sure of that. When we open the doors and flip the lights on for the first game in here, there's going to be a lot of people here, and that energy and that excitement, I got to feed off of that and recruit to that. So the newness, there is going to be technology that we have here. Our lighting system is going to have technology in it. We're going to have all the baseball analytic technology as well here. So those are all pieces that make our young people excited. And that's my job, is to take all the work that's been done here and parlay that into recruiting a baseball team that we're all going to be proud of.
You mentioned you come out here and walk around and see the progress every now and again. You know, as you continue to
Twice a week, not every now and again.
as you continue to do that and see progress being made, what's going through your head when you're seeing that?
You know, just when can we get out here? You know, like it's to the point where we know it's happening, and it's getting done. You know, the playing surface is going in September 1st, and it's like, can I start practicing on the 3rd when they're done? Like, you know, that's where my head's at. Like, when can I start playing with the toys? And there's been a long time waiting, and I know that. So that's where I'm at. But I enjoy coming out here, and I spend time with Kemp, and he explains, like, we had to dig it out. We got some softness in there when we did our soil today, and just learning of all the little things that are happening and what went in. And that's going to be even, I don't know what the right word is, it's going to be even more fulfilling playing here and living here, knowing all the little pieces, all the little things that went into it, and some of the battles, some of the hurdles, you know, that we had to do to get it done.
Coach, we talked, not many coaches get to inaugurate, if you will, a new stadium. When you go out and do recruit, when you tell the guys, hey, you're playing in a brand new facility, is that obviously an enticement for them?
100%. You know, every kid, I get off the phone with them. The first thing I do when I get off the phone is send them about a 7 or 8 picture slide of the times when I'm out here, and diagrams of what the Alex Lawrence Clubhouse is going to look like. That, you know, the renderings of the stadium, but then the in the moment pictures. I take a picture like every 3rd day, and when I talk to a kid on the phone, that picture is going out, and here's where we're at right now, and on March 1st we're playing here. So it does. You know, kids like the idea. We all do. I think we all love the idea of what's happening here, and our recruits certainly are going to feel that.
You know, just got out of the Board of Governors meeting, and inspired by the leadership of Brad Smith, and you know, the people that serve on our Board of Governors, you know, who see immensely the value of this community, and the people who have made such an amazing impact. So the decision they made today was for us to name the field after Coach Cook. You know, I just left a message for Kim on her phone. I knew if I told her beforehand, she'd let the cat out of the bag. So I didn't call her until immediately after the board officially voted unanimously to name it after her dad. I'm just so honored to be here, to be the person that was a part of the decision that our board and our president have agreed to, and thrilled for Coach Beals and the team and the honor that they're going to have to play on the field named after Coach Cook. It's a really special day, and a lot of people have been waiting a long time to see this come to fruition. And I just truly grateful that it gets to happen while we're all here together as a part of this community under Coach Beals' leadership. And I'm thrilled for our team that they're going to be able to represent Coach Cook on our baseball field each and every time they take that field. Questions?
Where's this rank for some of the most rewarding things you've done in your career? Where would you put this?
You know, only because this community made such a unique show of inquiry when I was first hired. I don't know if you remember this. I mean, you were in that crowd that day that I started on March 14th, and when we had our inaugural press conference, and it started with, how are you going to get a baseball field done? When are you going to get a baseball field done? What's your timing on a baseball field? And then when I started to ask questions, hey man, we've been trying to do this for decades, right? This thing might be impossible. And you know, when people place that kind of thing on top of you, and then you meet Brad Smith, and you get to know the leadership of our university, and you get to know the Board of Governors, and you get to meet the people in this community, you quickly realize that impossible doesn't exist. And so it ranks pretty high, because we started with, you won't it won't get done. And then it did. And so many people were a part of it. So it ranks up there really high, Paul. It does.
Kristen, when you look at we've talked a little bit about what this will do for baseball in general in this area.
Right.
The opportunities and the possibilities are endless, I guess. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What will it mean for the kid locally who hears the story about maybe an uncle or a cousin or a grandfather or a father that played for Coach Cook? And for them not to have met him, not to have known him, but to be playing on his field, I hope those stories, those narratives get told, because that's how legacies live on. And I think that's what we've done here for this region, this community, and for young people who participate in the sport of baseball. And I know for a fact that that guy over there, Coach Beals, he'll recognize that, he'll tell that narrative. Our department will do a good job shepherding it and making sure it's a spectacular field at all times. And then this community will rally around it over time, and we'll continue to honor the legacy that he had.
In addition to Cook, you get the Alex Lawrence Clubhouse. And
Yeah.
Another guy who really lived and breathed Marshall.
Oh, yeah. Graduated in 1959, served in the military, just an exceptional human being, worked in oil and gas and coal, and, became a franchisee. And for Kim to find Teddy Klumper, for Teddy to go visit with her, for them to discuss what the impact of a brand new clubhouse would mean on the baseball team. Now let's remember what's inside of a clubhouse. This is where our locker rooms are. This is where our team lounge is. This is where our film room is. This is where our hitting cages are. This is where our coaches' offices are. For Kim to provide that shelter, that level of support to student athletes she doesn't know, in honor of Alex after his death, is just such an extraordinary gift. If someone ever cares about me that much, I am going to be just so happy in heaven, right? So I'm honored that we were here to be a part of her honoring her late husband, and I'm grateful for the Big Green and Teddy and Coach Beals and this community for sharing with Kim how we would honor Alex. And I think we did a really nice job with it.
Were there any other naming considerations for either the field or the clubhouse?
We had lots of conversations with lots of different folks, but doing the right thing has always been our anchor, and it was always the right thing to name this thing after Coach Cook. And so Coach Beals and I, we just never deviated from that, and we stayed true to that course. And we were so fortunate to find John Rulli, also an alum, also a baseball player, who'd established a matching gift and took it upon himself to help us generate some excitement around funding that project. So thankful for John and his gift. Marshall baseball people do great things, and John did something really special to honor his coach.
When you opened this presser, it sounded like you had emotion in your voice. Is it an emotional day?
It has been. This is the speed of the game. We talk about it a lot. Standing here in front of you 16 months later, it surprises even me, I think. You set out a goal, you set out a vision, you try to inspire people to get involved, and then they do. And it makes you feel pretty good about the people that you surround yourself with and the people that you count on and trust. We just have an unbelievable team here in Marshall. Our athletic staff is tremendous. The people that serve this community are tremendous. And then you realize the love and support that people who graduated from this institution have for it. And that's inspiring. And so lead, follow, get out of the way. I got out of the way a lot on this project and let the people who care deeply about this community carry it. And I'm so glad they did.
Is it state of the art? What about when it's done that's going to really stand out to you?
Hopefully the wins that we have on it. No. Going into a brand new conference and being a part of the Sun Belt, which is a well-established baseball field, having a brand new ballpark, a brand new coach, someone who understands the game and is going to pour into our student athletes and gives us a chance to compete in one of the best baseball leagues in the country, this is it. That's part of what we did. The community impact it'll make and the generations of people that will play here and the state championships that I'm going to try to get to come here and the community events that we're going to host here. At the end of the day, this is going to be a home for an unbelievably special baseball program that's going to represent us at a really high level in the Sun Belt Conference.